Have you ever sat down to create and nothing happens? Like you're staring into space, feeling stuck, and wondering if you have lost touch with your creativity. Well, I had that same exact thing happen for me this week with my writing. And instead of trying to force it, I learned something surprising that changed the way that I view and will now experience creative blocks. And I want to share them with you. Here are 5 takeaways from this experience that I'm hoping will help you in your creative process. We always begin with gratitude, so I want to thank you for being here. Peace. I am LA. Before I get into sharing with you the 5 takeaways, I want to name that this creative block happening with my writing in particular was challenging for me because writing comes really easy to me. All I have to do is sit down and create the space for writing, and the words just flow effortlessly. I get into what I like to call the zone, I get into flow, and writing is just really, it's really easy for me. There are times when writing has been challenging depending on what it is that I'm writing about, but writing generally is really easy for me to do. So for me to experience a creative block with writing was really challenging. It was scary for me. It was confusing, and it was pretty disappointing as well. So I wanted to name that before I offer you the 5 takeaways, because I do think the fact that it is with writing and my relationship, what my relationship with writing is, does heavily shape how I experience creative blocks around my writing in particular. You don't have to be a writer to utilize the 5 takeaways that I'm going to share, but I did want to just give you a little bit of context. So here are the 5 takeaways. Number 1, keep a creativity bank. This is similar to what I learned in my public speaking classes and trainings when I have been preparing for keynote speeches, or even around wanting to improve storytelling. They tell you to keep a story bank. Well, I am encouraging you to keep a creativity bank. And what a creativity bank is a collection or a compilation of stories, of events, of occurrences that you felt really inspired by, particularly to create something with or around. So keep a creativity bank. This could be something that you keep track of using the Notes app in your phone. You can also use a Google document or a voice recorder, whichever works best for you. But the way to keep a creativity bank is whenever something happens that you feel inspired by, take note of where it happened, what it made you feel, so that when you do refer back to the bank, you're not confused about what all is there. The reason, or the way I should say, a creativity bank is supportive for you is because in those times when you feel uninspired or you're not really sure what to create, you have a place to go where you have a collection of stories or of events that may inspire some form of creation for you. Number 2, assessing your bandwidth and capacity. This one is really important, especially as it relates to creative projects. One of the reasons, I should say, behind my experience with writing where I had this creative block this week is because I am doing a new creative project, or have been, I should say, throughout this month. If you are new here, I strongly encourage you to check out the Ease Experiment, which is my daily YouTube series where I am posting a video every single day, inviting you to excuse me, inviting you to join me on my journey of creating a life of ease. So, this series is all things ease. We define ease. We also talk about what are disruptors of ease and what are some strategies for creating ease. I won't go down the entire list, but it's really an amazing series. So please check that out. I will make sure it's linked in the description box and that there is a button for you to click on it in this video. But I bring that up because I am posting on my YouTube channel every single day for the first time. I had not done that before. I did not know what that was going to look like or how much time or energy that was going to take. And I also had not accounted for the fact that I would be balancing the ease experiment with other creative projects, whether it was writing or some other type of creative project. When it comes to creativity, it's important that you are assessing what your capacity is, especially when you are taking on new creative projects. So I wanted to add that assessment piece in here because that is one of the big takeaways for me of this experience, is that I did not and could not have known how much energy it was going to take from me to post on YouTube every day. And this includes not just creating the ideas for the videos, but this is also editing. This is also thinking about, sharing or posting the videos, or not posting the videos, but sharing the videos. And then outside of YouTube, hey, watch my new video, or here is today's ease experiment video. So that's another important takeaway, is the assessment piece. Number 3 is honoring the cycles of creativity. When I think about creativity, I think of it in terms of abundance. Like, I'm a very creative individual, and I don't think there are any limits or any restrictions on what I can create or even on my creativity. What I learned, though, with this particular instance where I just had a really difficult time writing something, is that is a part of the process. That pause, or taking breaks, or feeling uninspired and having to take a step back and say, okay, I'm not feeling this right now, or nothing is coming up for me, and that's okay. I think honoring all of the different parts of the creative process. So not just when the creativity is abundant and flowing, but also those times when maybe you need rest in order to be more creative, or when there is just a natural pause. Maybe it is after an intensive creative project, or maybe it's just at a time when, for whatever the reasons are, you don't have the capacity or the desire to create. And again, knowing that that's okay, that is also a part of your creative process. Your creative process is not just creating nonstop. So making sure that you honor the process. Number 4, and y'all are going to get tired of me talking about this, and that's okay, because this is what we like to center here at Reconnect with You, and that is practicing self-compassion and also practicing acceptance. In this instance where I'm talking about my writing and the creative block that I experienced with it, I remember when this happened, it was getting late at night. So I could have made the choice to force myself to sit at my desk until something came up, or maybe just force myself to throw something together just to say that I wrote something and possibly not feel good about it later. In that moment, I accepted the fact that this is not happening right now. This is something that I'm going to put down and come back to it at another time. And I also reminded myself of the importance of being kind to myself as I was navigating this, because I hadn't done anything wrong. It was just that I sat down to write and I just was not feeling it. I was also very tired at the time, and I don't like to write when I'm tired. I have written when I was tired before, but there is a difference in being already tired and sitting down to write and then getting tired while you're writing. So being kind to myself was really supportive for me because it kept me from blaming myself for what was unfolding, and again normalizing it as part of the creative process. So practicing self-compassion and acceptance is really helpful for creative blocks, because creative blocks are going to happen. The difficult part about them is that you can't always anticipate when they're going to happen or what you might be working on when it happens. But making sure that you practice acceptance and self-compassion was a major takeaway for me, because I could have very easily used this experience and turned it into a tool to judge myself, to criticize myself, or just to berate myself for not being able to create on command, which is what I was trying to do in a way. So that's the fourth one. Number 5 is shifting the medium or the method. If you are like me and you're creative, your creativity is not limited to any one method. So for me, my creativity shows up a lot in writing because I am a writer and I write a lot. But there are so many other ways of being creative. So let's use my example of writing. Let's say I sit down to write and I'm not feeling it. Nothing is really coming up, but I'm in the mood to dance. Or maybe I want to draw or sketch. Maybe singing is coming more naturally to me in that moment. Be open to shifting the medium or the method through which your creativity flows. And that doesn't mean that you have to shift it forever, but just momentarily to inspire creativity or to channel some creative energy. It might be helpful for you to put down whatever it is that's not working and see if there is something else that you can shift to that may get that energy to flow again. And I am offering this because it is very possible that you get some creative energy flowing and you're like, okay, now I know what I'm going to paint or what I'm going to write or what I want to create. But sometimes when there is a creative block, that block is causing for or calling for just a full stop, a pause. And it's important for you to give yourself time to sit with that and be discerning about which you might need. Is this a full pause, or is this, okay, writing's not working, so I'm going to dance for today? Or I'm going, again, I'm going to paint or I'm going to sketch. And it's really important to be flexible. When I think about creativity, I think about flow. Like, I don't think about rules and restrictions. Like, when I think about creativity, I think about flow and openness as well. So I wanted to offer you these 5 takeaways because I was having a really, really hard time with not being able to write something. And I can end this video with a celebration of the fact that I was able to write something. It was the next day, which was today. I was able to write something that I don't think was perfect, but I felt good about it. And I was really grateful to myself for allowing myself to rest and not forcing myself to produce at a time when it just didn't seem like that is what was aligned. So I wanted to offer you these 5 takeaways because I think creative blocks can be really challenging, again, based on when they're happening, what it is that you're working on, what other projects are you managing or balancing at the same time. And I wanted to offer you these to invite you to take what resonates and leave the rest behind. I think creativity is really special, but it's also very unique to each person. And what creativity looks like for you, how it feels for you when you feel like you're not able to be creative, is all going to be different based on who it is that you're speaking with. But I hope that at least one of these takeaways was comforting for you or something that you feel like you can use. I end each of my videos with a prompt for journaling or reflection, and I want to offer you something to think about and take away from this video. The prompt for this video is: how do creative blocks feel for you? What feelings come up when you are not able to create? Yeah, I'll leave it there. What feelings do creative blocks bring up for you? I really like that one, so I'll leave it there. Well, that is all I have for today. A couple of closing announcements. Again, I invite you to please check out the Ease Experiment. It is my daily series on YouTube. It will actually be ending in a few days, which I'm really sad about. I've had a lot of fun with it. But there is the Ease Experiment playlist, which you can rewatch and take notes on. There are so many gems in the series, and it's really easy for you to jump around as well. If you take a look at the playlist, all of the topics for each video, they're listed on the thumbnail, so you can very easily take a look there and see what resonates and explore the series from there. Also, check out my first ever recorded sound meditation, which is called Clarity and Stillness. Very much in alignment with the Ease Experiment. And it's all about being open to what's possible when we slow down, which I think is very much needed right now with everything happening in the world. But I also think because of the busyness and the grind and the hustle of the everyday, I think that we all need those reminders to slow down and be okay with slowing down. So I'll leave you with those two. And if you haven't done so already, please check out the companion article, which I will make sure is linked down below in the description of this video. If you are new here, each of my weekly long form videos comes with a companion article written by me. I look forward to connecting with y'all again soon, but in the meantime, reconnect with you. Peace, y'all.